Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the very last episode this year of the Faab Five campaign here on the Random Rhapsody Network. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around the virtual table today are Alyssa, Joe, Jeremy, Koines, and Kyle. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Click, boom.
Okay. So this last week has been particularly rough on me in the real world, so you might have noticed our schedule was a little different from what I announced last week. So sorry about that. Hopefully, once the holidays are over, we will be back to our regular, consistent schedule. Next Monday, we will be doing our holiday one-shot, 5 Nights of Darkness, hosted by Joe Trotter. Our final lineup has Alyssa and Kyle from the Faab Five here, joining Brandy, John, and Steven from the Debauchery Circus, so it should be a lot of fun. The following Monday, January 3rd, we will be back to our regular schedule, with the Debauchery Circus at 3 and the Faab Five at 7 p.m. Central Time on Mondays, and Random Game Night on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central. You can keep up to date on everything we do by following us on Facebook at Random Rhapsody TV or on Twitter as Random_Rhapsody. Okay, that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventure of the Faab Five. Okay, we're back. When we last left off, the Faab Five had managed to recover the glaive needed to end the blight of wraiths that had overrun the village of Bradfordshire. After returning to the keep of Eloise Brightcrystal, Liam spent some time attuning and familiarizing himself to the copper glaive while Jortha Skyline watched on in amusement. Eloise worriedly informed her companions about the surprising message she had received as her bag of flyers began to burn at her side. Unfortunately, while the group was curious about this, there's no real way to look into it any further at this point. After some joint persuasion and discussion about the remains of both friend and foe, the group settled in to listen to Jortha tell a story from the monastery before they all took a long rest. The next morning, the party set out once again, accompanied by Brightcrystal, back through the Underdark and up to Morag. In the depths, the squad returned to the warehouse occupied by Captain Sternfeast to hand Elvis over to the Red Guard's custody, along with the bodies of Brightcrystal and Grood's followers. The five wasted little time once the dwarf was safe once again, and they quickly moved out to the hegemony capital, making for the nearest large tree and to open a portal to Bradfordshire. And so, Faab Five. Eloise was no doubt ecstatic to be reunited once again with Desi, her staff of the woodlands. While she reclaimed her friend, the rest of you had scouted out the Temple of the Five to discover that the place was completely empty. You had left Father Estru, Niasi, Eyes That Sparkle, and Shadows in the Wind there in the temple when you had transported the rest of the survivors to Morag. Now, however, all your group is able to find is the signs of battle, footprints left in dried mud that eventually lead away from the temple out towards the street. Your group had prepared yourself for what is to come, and you all raced forward, intent on making your way up the monastery, or from the monastery up at the top of the mesa. As your group now runs down the long dusty hill towards the stone gate that leads to the village beyond, a question comes to each of your minds. But this time, it's a little bit different. Call it the gods, intuition, just dumb luck, or whatever. Y'all rolled a natural 100 on the D100 question. So instead of asking y'all a question, I said that I would allow you to ask me a few. Okay then. Who's going to ask first?
Nye?
Go ahead.
Is Mitchell alive?
Yes.
Yay.
Okay. Koines, you want to ask yours?
Yeah. So in that battle with Groot in front of Presslor's castle, I noticed that my trident on my back was shocking me and urging me to use it. What's the deal with that?
The weapon you possess is not the weapon that you thought it was. It has a bit of a personality of its own. It wants to be used. It needs to be used. But it is not cursed like you may have thought. Instead, it is in fact a very special weapon.
And you lost it.
No, I lost the Javelin of Lightning. I didn't lose the trident.
I thought you lost both.
Yeah, I thought you lost both.
No, I think he picked up the trident. The trident was
Yeah,
the thing that he found when he went looking.
Yeah, I found that one. I didn't find the Javelin, which is the one I wanted, but I was like, all right, whatever.
The blood was going to look at you very disappointed, but...
Okay, that's 2 questions. One more.
Joe, you rolled the 100, man. It's your turn.
Man, I'll ask that one. How many dream roots does Grovejar's army have? Oh shit, he's not talking.
I'm counting in my head because instead of looking through my sheets, because I have just a big file of different sheets of different things, instead of looking at that, I'm just trying to count in my head how many there are.
Just relying on brain power.
Well, he was stroking the beard, so you knew there was thinking happening.
Well, part of his brain comes out of his beard, so you gotta stroke it a little bit.
That's all bearded men.
That is true. I do this every time I just start thinking.
It's just there. It's nice.
It's there. It's nice. The funny thing is, my wife just will grab it the same way she'll grab a dog's chin. She's a dog groomer, and so she grabs their chin to shave their face and whatever. She'll do that the same way.
Okay,
Anyway.
Thought we were totally going somewhere different there for a second. Thank God you went with...
No, she's a dog groomer.
What's SFW, Safe for Work, We are on Twitch. They do have a TOS.
This is true. You want to know how many roots that the Dream Witness army currently has. That's a bit of a challenging question because the army itself has none.
Well, that's the way I was saying Grovejar.
Yeah,
and his Grovejar's, come on, don't you fucking
I know.
semantics with me.
It's fun. But the army itself doesn't have any dream roots. However, I will tell you that currently the dreamers themselves have 3. And there's one more on the way.
So that means they have 4. Really?
Unless we can intercept it.
It's with that little prick.
We're not the only heroes in the world either.
Mm.
Well, we know they're not going to fight.
You don't know that either, honestly.
I know, but they're too busy having too much fun to fucking look for this shit.
Well, in their game, it'll fall into their lap if they find it. They won't actively look for anything.
They don't know about all that shit yet, unless they're watching our stream. Because they haven't come across that stuff, I don't think, have they?
They have and they haven't. Their story is a little bit
Actively,
different.
yeah, they're not. We're more involved than they are, I guess. So
well,
yeah,
yes. Actively, I would say
info.
your group is much more involved with the dreamer and the dream witness and all that stuff.
They've got their own stuff going on.
Exactly.
I guess you can play it. You can blame Blood for that, since he's the one that got us involved with the fucking army in the first place.
This is true. It is all Joe's fault.
Sorry, guys. That's all my fault.
I blame Alyssa, because this was in motion before she started the game. It's clearly her fault.
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay, then, Faab Five. As I said, you're all running down the hard-packed earth path that leads down towards the tall stone gates of the Temple of the Five. Down at the bottom, you can see a couple bodies laying across the entryway to the temple, along with a much larger pile of bodies, all piled up along the wall of a Yellowstone building across the street. The ground in front of it is very muddy, much more muddy than the hard dirt that you're currently running down, as though like a pool of water had been sitting there for a while, and finally it dried up. It's still pretty damn muddy. Memories of a huge tidal wave of water washing out from the temple comes to each of your minds as you see it. A tidal wave caused by a fireball, if my memory serves me. Liam, you know that thanks to your background that the monastery lies at the top of the mesa, west and up from your current location right now. So then, what are you wanting to do?
Well, as I'm about to get started and head this venture out, I'm gonna look over to Veil and almost put my hand on his shoulder, but then realize he hates that stuff and pull back. I go, Veil, I understand you may have objections to our current mission, being that we're trying to stop dead things from rising up. So if you just want to not help us stop dead rising, I don't know if this good dead or bad dead. You tell me.
Well, these are those
And-
wraiths,
Veil,
right? Yeah.
Veil looks over at Liam, kind of in a daze because he's been staring south, and he kind of looks over and says, "Yeah, be a shame if these bodies just went to waste." And he just saunters down towards the bodies on the ground.
I thought those were like consecrated already. Back.
Is it a pile of bones or a corpse?
I don't know, I thought they had done stuff that they would be able to raise them.
Maybe their souls can't be, but he doesn't need their souls.
I didn't know. I
don't know.
Shit.
I just need the physical components.
I guess are these ones bodies too?
So all of them are the same bodies that you had all seen that were laid out outside of the temple way back when you first arrived at Brightcrystal.
I was saying like these white things.
Same thing. It's just two different graphics, but they're the same thing.
Gotcha,
It's a body form wrapped in cloth, bound in rope. You remember that the dwarven priest, Father Estru, had said that they bind them in blessed cloth and rope, and they're doused in holy water, and they're performed like a ceremony over them to consecrate them before burial. And that he had said he had done that a while back, but then all those bodies, when all the water came shooting out of the temple, they washed all the bodies down the street. That's what you're seeing.
Yep. And I would assume it would have washed all the holy water right off of them.
That water was in the temple. It might have been blessed. You don't know.
I mean, when water touches holy water, does it not become holy water? How does that work?
I don't know. When it was caused by a cursed magic item, I would assume it's not holy.
Well, Blood will come up, and knowing that you speak Orcish, he's going to be like, tell us, like, you know that there's a member of this town with us, right? She's probably not going to enjoy you taking those bodies.
And I reiterate, it'd be a shame if these bodies were to just be left here in the state they're in. And he begins to unfold his portable hole.
I'm not going to fight you.
And by way back when, Matt, Way back when for us as players, right?
Yes,
Because
way back when
character-wise,
for
it was like
players.
2 or 3 days ago.
Yes, character-wise, it was 2 or 3 days ago. Jortha, now that you're looking, as Veil starts kneeling down, is standing in the street, looking down towards the way you all need to go. She turns back and looks at you and says, "We don't have time for your foolishness. We got to get up to the monastery. Those wraiths could be coming towards us any minute. We don't have time."
Veil says, "I agree. I agree. There isn't time, so let's stop arguing. Everyone, grab an arm." I'm gonna continue to.
I don't know. It's
in.
one thing for me to allow you to grab bodies. You'd have to roll over a 22 on persuasion to get me to do it with you, dude.
I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
it's not happening.
I'm okay with persuading, and if I fail, I fail, and nobody helps me, then I'll probably get the one in that I
set my DC. I need to be persuaded, but I'm not doing it freely.
All right. A spit. And
so
19.
I knew you had the ability to do it. I had to make it difficult. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's good. It worked.
Jortha says quite clearly,
Hey.
"Leave the drow. Let us go. If the wraiths kill him, that is his fault."
I mean, the bodies will still be here when we get back, buddy.
And I suppose if we had let you die down there in the depths, that would have been your fault, and we could just be on with our conscience. Should we have not felt bad when you fell?
Didn't you say we had to go west?
Yeah,
West.
west.
and up? Yeah.
Oops. So while they're going east,
way.
I'm going to be scooping the body.
Sorry,
into my
yeah, you're right.
That's why I was like, wait. I know my cardinal directions. I remember my compass.
Sorry, yeah, that's my bad.
Well,
West,
he said it when we were facing towards the
yeah,
stone
yeah,
wall,
yeah.
right?
That's it exactly.
So
when you're
north is for us down, and so west would have been.
It's still the same direction, no matter which way you're facing.
How many could I get in right now?
Well,
You got your zombies to help, don't you?
he doesn't have any
Yes.
zombies out right now. If you're opening the portable hole while everyone is walking away, let's say this is what we're going to try to do. You walk over, you unfold the portable hole, you walk over and set it down closest to the nearest body. Give me an athletics check.
You got it.
Watch, he's gonna.
That is a 3.
I was hoping he's gonna crit that.
Yeah, so with a 3, you grab up one of the legs and you're trying to pull, but the way it's bound, and you're looking at it now, this body is pretty freaking huge. Much bigger than you are as a half-elf, and you're pulling and pulling as hard as you can, and the thing doesn't even budge. Not with a 3.
Now, is it a large body, or is it just the way it's wrapped?
It's a much bigger, thicker body than your body, is what I was trying to say. He just weighs more than you.
Okay. All right. I just wasn't sure if you were saying it was like a larger size creature.
No, I wasn't saying it's a larger size creature. It's just
just buffer.
Yeah, you know what it's like when you try and lift something over your body weight. You're like, oh shit, I miscalculated this.
Yeah. Like you're trying to pull it and nothing's going. And you basically do this for about 2-3 minutes trying to pull at it. By the time you're done and you realize you can't move this thing at all, you look up and the group is probably around a good 50-60 feet away from you.
Okay, and they're like you said, they're walking away, correct?
Well, what are the rest of you doing?
I would recommend if anybody starts to run that we take it quiet and we make as little noise as possible.
I cast pass without a trace through Desi.
Through your staff. Beautiful. But you need to be within 30 feet of her in order to get that benefit.
This is true. So, Eloise, holding her staff, is cast paths without a trace. It sounds like you're wanting to make your way stealthy towards the monastery instead of, because like when you described it last session, you're like, we're just running out there. So that's kind of what I've been going with.
Well, I'm thinking time-wise, no matter what, we're probably going to want to take a rest before we go down into this thing because we've been traveling all day long. That's just my personal thoughts. I don't know.
Speaking of which, it's actually been past 8 hours because you used you cast dark vision on yourselves this morning. Alyssa and Vulcan did. Then you cast whatchamacallit, the wind walk to get up to Morag. That's 8 hours, so that spell was gone. Y'all headed back to the temple outside through Morag, but you don't really need dark vision through there. So right now I'm going to say it is dark, completely darkness. You probably would want to cast dark vision. Vulcan's doing that himself. He casts it on himself first as you guys are all heading out there. Then he does look at you, Eloise, and he says, do you need me to cast it on you, or are you good, Eloise?
All right.
Was that
Wait, so are you saying we need a long rest?
No.
We're going to need one eventually. It's turning dark.
Eventually, but I think we've got we can do another.
It's dusk right now.
6 hours. Before
we got a few hours of good travel time still, but it is getting dark, and the time that it would take us to go down into the monastery, we don't want to have to take a rest in the bottom there. We'll be exhausted by the time we get to the bottom. So get to the monastery, take a rest, head down.
So yeah, just for clarity, it is about 9:30 in the evening. It is getting dark, or it is dark now, complete darkness. There is a moon overhead. It's not too overcast, so there is a little bit of light out, but not a ton. But like you said, you probably have a good 6 hours or so before you're at any risk of taking points of exhaustion or anything like that. You still got tons of time before you get overtired, if that's what you're worried about.
I'm gonna sidle up to Vulcan for a second here and ask him quietly. I'm stage whispering. We're all stealthy right now.
Sure.
Does you saw Groot yourself? Any change in your plans? Are you still trying to redeem him?
He's whispering back to you as well, and you all have just gotten past the temple wall by this point, and you're making your way around the mesa, around the bend a little bit as you're talking about this. Veil. I'm going to come back to you in 1 second. Vulcan says to you, I'm not going to lie, I don't think anybody is outside of redemption. Now, seeing Groot the way he was, I honestly don't know what to think. He did not look anything like any Goliath I had ever seen, and I've seen a fair few in my lifetime, don't get me wrong, but something wrong about him, and that makes me worried, and that makes me thinking. So, I don't know if I can say that I'm giving up anything, but I'm definitely worried about him.
Well, he should be worried about us. But that's to come soon.
Veil, you can see the group making their way fairly far around the bend a little bit. You can still see them, but they are getting past a little ways. We're going to say probably about 150 feet at this point. Jareth, no doubt, flying overhead around you. Go ahead and make a perception check. And are you still trying to lift up bodies and try to get them in your hole?
No. So after that, the one attempt, he did not attempt anymore. Did you want me to make a perception check with Jareth?
Yeah, with Jareth. Are you heading back towards the group then?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's a 15 for Jareth.
Okay. With the 15 for Jareth, you're you're trying to hurry as quick as you can towards the group as they're kind of hunched down a little bit, stealthily making their way around. So everyone give me a stealth check as well. Jareth, with his 15, as the owl is flying around above you, he can see behind you to the east
Ooh, 33.
Same here.
a group of pinkish lights moving out from a building into the street.
You have advantage. Your boot.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting about those boots. Okay, that's better.
It's a 20 for her.
It is. In fact, a 20. I keep forgetting that you gave me those boots.
I'll remind you every time.
I need to make a note somewhere on my sheet.
All right. So what's their speed at stealth? Because I'm going to try to catch up to them.
If we're stealth and we're moving probably
half
normal
speed,
speed. Yeah, normal. Or well, I guess at 30 feet, not running full speed.
Yeah.
You know, like
All right.
doubling it.
I'm going to be running full speed.
Okay. You run full speed, and honestly, it'd only take you like maybe 3 rounds to catch up to him. It wouldn't take you that far.
Okay.
You're not like so far away from him. Like I said, it was only like a 150 feet distance between the two groups, so it takes you a few rounds. But as you run as quick as you can and head back to them.
And I'm going to inform them what I saw through Jareth's eyes of the pinkish lights filling into the streets.
Where were those pinkish lights coming from?
East.
Ahead of us? Oh, so behind
East.
us. Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, we need.
And I'll have Jareth fly ahead. We're going north, correct?
Western.
West,
Once
north.
we get past
Northwest.
the temple walls, I think then we're going
Okay.
north. Yeah.
So I'll have Jareth fly ahead to scout it out. The way we're going.
Did those wraiths emit a pink color last time?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There were
Yeah, let's stay away from those.
there are actually 2 colors. I'll remind you just because pink and blue.
Purple.
Yeah, as I say, blue was I think blue was the leaders, or was pink the leader? I don't remember, but they're both there.
Yeah, pink rose up from all the dead bodies around us.
So it was blue was the leaders. Yeah.
I think I only remember blue because
They can
They were
raise
tough.
the dead, is what it was.
yeah.
The blue ones, or raise the ghosts.
Okay. So, all of you, after Veil catches up to you and lets you know that a group of spectral beings, pink in color, is behind you some fair distance away and moving off in a general direction towards the group. But not at a fast pace. They just more seem to be coasting a little bit from what he'd seen so far. Your group continues on, heading west from where you all are now. Should be on the new map now. Go ahead and tell me what your stealth checks were as you're making your way down the center of the street.
Liam and I both had 33.
I had 20. I had 20.
Yeah, Vale still needs to roll one. Oh,
14.
14.
Jortha can roll one too, and Grood.
Yeah,
Not Grood, Vulcan.
Vulcan, Jorthan, Vulcan.
no, you're doing it too.
The big gray fuck. That's what you get.
My dad.
Ah, that's a 30 for Jortha. That's nice.
It's weak shit. 30.
Don't be a dick.
As Liam and Blood are like,
It's such an asshole.
Liam
to the
and Blood are like,
NPC.
Liam and Blood are like, you're just so pathetic. God, 30. Oh, I'm an asshole. It's like, what's Mr.
Oh,
what was
yeah?
the captain?
32,
The dwarf?
bitch.
Yeah, 33. We still beat him. The dwarf captain back in fucking.
Nat
Western,
20,
huh?
though. Vulcan is indistinguishable. Nobody can hear him.
Liam's made a career of being a dick to NPCs.
Yeah, that's true. He has. Anywho, your group continues on down the road, making their way as stealthy as they can. With the staff and with Eloise's pass without a trace, you all just blend into the darkness. There are no street lamps. There are no bright lit windows. There is nothing but the moon and the stars overhead. So all of you cling to the gloom of shadows as you make your way down the path, making good time. You go for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and so far you haven't seen any sign of any wraiths. You go for another 10 more minutes, making a third of the way through Bradfordshire, before you see, in the distance, 5 blue shapes move from a crossroads along the center, into the center of a crossroads path, I suppose. Crossroads road? I don't know. Fucking. Anyway. As they're making their way to the north from where you're positioned, you can see them. They have not seen you at first. So I'm going to show that to you on the map now.
I'm guessing they're further up and not in this intersection. Are they further down?
Yeah, they're over here.
Yeah,
okay, Mr. Supervision.
We're just using a quick, easy map. I'm riffing what you guys are seeing, but I'm using a map that I have. But
they're not this close to us, correct?
Yeah, they're not that close to you. They're actually more right down here. Just imagine there's a crosswalk right there. Or I'll even put it at the end. But anyway, you can see
like
them, the slightly bluish form, crossing their way just like the Beatles. Absolutely. We had Elvis, now we have the Wraith Beatles. And they're just moving along, walking across that cross street. Their attention, like I said, is not towards you. It's towards the front. They have not noticed you, so you do have a moment before they do. So I'm giving you the chance to do anything. There are houses.
We should duck into a store.
There are houses to either sides of you. There's about 3 or 4 buildings along this street. To the far north is where the actual mesa wall is, about another 30 or so feet past where the map shows you. But like I said, you have a moment right now to decide what you want to do before these possibly see you. So what are you wanting to do?
I say we duck into one of these houses or shops, whatever they are.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
All right, let's move out, I whisper.
How tall are the houses?
The houses themselves are fairly standard, about 10-foot tall buildings, mostly made of that same yellow sandstone that you've seen throughout this entire place. The ceiling, the roofs themselves are actually squared off, so there's like just a flat platform on the top of them.
Okay.
They're basically just giant squares of
like boxes almost.
Yeah, boxes of this yellowish stone that they pull off from the mesa.
I was gonna climb one, but it doesn't seem like it's that important now. No, really, to get tactical advantage up there, so we'll just duck into the building.
Okay.
We're over here, Eloise, if you're coming in.
Yeah, go ahead. As all of you are scurrying down, ducking down and scurrying, trying to make your way into this building, I want all of you to make new stealth checks for me.
21.
Ugh, a natural 1 for a 20.
39.
31.
26.
Yay, she remembered.
And of course, I have to reload roll 20.
Yeah, it's been a bitch lately. They've done a lot of updates, I could tell, and I think that's what's causing it.
Man, I have not been rolling great lately.
Get him out now. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we said last session, and I rolled nothing but crap.
So, Jarrett's going to be flying pretty high up in the air to stay out of view of those wraiths or whatever they are, but be able to look down, pun intended, bird's eye view, a literal bird's eye view, I should say, of the streets and alleyways.
Since it's literal, is it really a pun?
No, that's why I corrected myself with the pun and changed it to a literal bird's eye view.
Okay, so while Jareth is doing that, he can go ahead and make another perception check as well. Hey, now it's finally working.
A 7.
Okay, so Jortha rolled a 25 for stealth. Voken only got a 14. Liam, as you're running towards the door, you just
Yeah.
make it past, and your foot trips on one of the flagstones, just hitting your toe, and you go flying forward, slamming your face in the stone floor. You take 1 point of damage as your blood nose begins to bleed a little bit from just slamming your nose right on the floor. Fortunately, with Pass Without a Trace, it dampens sound. So even as you smash your face into the ground, it's still a 20, but there's always a failure with a 1.
Just a quick insight in Liam's head. He's all like, "Oh, that's what it's like for Eloise when she face plants." Okay.
Indeed, you do, and you all
You
kind of
kiss the
hunker
dirt.
down in this little storefront filled with flowers and things like that. Most of which is all broken and strewn about and thrown everywhere and just demolished. You're all hunkering down, looking out the window at these 4 wraiths. They stop, looking around, almost as though they heard Liam, and all of you hold a silent gasp as the things just look back and forth and then drift north once again. With the, what did you roll for? You rolled a 7 for perception.
Yep.
Wow. So yeah, Jareth is circling around overhead, keeping as high as he possibly can. The wraiths, through Jareth's eyes, you can see the wraiths kind of look up, look at Jareth as he's circling. They kind of look at him for a moment too before walking on. Beyond that, as far as you can tell, it seems like you probably lost those the wraiths or whatever the hell they were that were following back there. You don't see any sign of them.
But you said this was like a flower shop, and there's it got wrecked, and there's flowers all over the floor and plants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick up a sad looking one and just be like, "Oh, you poor baby," and I'm gonna try and go over to find it a spot where there's some nice soft dirt for it. And
oh yeah, you see Voken, the same thing, hands and knees, trying to repot a little flower that's in a flower pot, a little sunflower that's sticking there, and he's trying to push it back in there, but it's been without water for God knows how many weeks and is definitely dead and wilted there, but he's still trying anyway.
Vale's going to gesture over to Blood towards the cash register or cash box.
Is that all you can think about? As he's already walking over there, is this really? Come on. He's just like, seriously? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, he's just gonna monologue for a little while. He goes, "You got to stop. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, we can't just be stealing absolutely everything we come across." As he's just absent-mindedly breaking into it without, and he's like, "What? Will you fucking stop that?"
33.
He's like, "No." He's like, "You know that works on me, right?"
And with a ching, the cash register opens as Blood very easily picks it. He goes rummaging through it a little bit. You find 4 copper pieces at the very back of the cup drawer. No other money in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
You actually find a few scraps of paper and things like that. Probably was already cleared out.
I think Shadows was here before us. I'll leave
Coppers.
the coppers.
Yeah, copper's just an insult, apparently.
Still just shaking his head like, how did he do that?
I'm looking to Vale because he's got eyes outside, so I'm waiting for him to tell me when it's safe to move out.
So I'll let him know that the wraiths have moved. I believe you said north a ways. Judging by what Jareth saw, is it safe to exit?
From where Jareth is right now and what he's seen, it does not appear to be any wraiths within at least the immediate road.
Okay, I'm going to have him fly a little more east and do one more perception check before we head out.
Okay, go ahead.
A 15.
With a 15, he is able to see that group of 4 wraiths moving on farther north. They seem to go down another block and a half before turning east and making their way in that direction. Beyond that, he can see a large group of wraiths farther north. He can't tell how many there are at this point, but he can definitely see gleams of blue and pink. Somewhere probably around another 300 or so feet farther to the west.
All right. So I said east, but I meant west when he was looking.
Yeah.
I'll inform the group that and say we could at least move up a little bit, and if we have to duck into another storefront, we could do that.
All right, let's go. After me.
All right.
Pop out the door.
Yeah. Wiping some
Run over here and look around.
Wiping blood from my face and not realizing that the red has stained my 1-week mustache. Moving on.
I'm looking down the north path up here. Do I see anything?
Make a perception. Where's the 14? I see it already. Okay. With a 14 towards the north, you can see that the street beyond goes down for another 50 or so feet. There's another line of buildings and another road up that way. Farther past that, another 200 or so feet beyond is where the mesa wall actually goes up. You do not see any wraiths in the immediate area down that way. You're pretty sure, based on what Vale said, that those wraiths headed this direction, but they've made it past where your group currently is.
All right. So it seems like we need to head that way, right? We want to get to the wall.
That's the idea.
Well, the
Wall's this way.
The road winds around the wall and eventually makes its way up to the top. Are you just trying to climb up the wall, or
no? We need to follow the road path. Otherwise, it's just
goes west.
Ridiculous challenge.
Yeah, eventually. So think of a mesa, a big, tall, conical mountain, but flat at the top. The village was built around this mesa, so it goes around the outer rim, and then they built roads going up along it, and there are houses that have been built along the mesa wall as you go. But then there's cliff road, Do you get me? It's kind of the road spirals around the mesa.
Yeah, I understand. It's a spiral.
Okay. So my question then is, are you following the road along through the city, or are you trying to climb up the...
No, we're following the road.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just go
Is-
down the road. That's fine.
Is the road made of the same stone as the wall? The walls of the houses?
Yeah, for the most part, it's all that same...
So what you're
Is it a
saying?
yellow
We're
brick road?
following a yellow brick road.
No, it's not
Yeah.
brick. There's
It's
no
yellow
bricks.
stone, but it's a yellow stoned wall. So if the stone is the same as
Okay, so yes, the entire mesa is yellowish stone.
I don't
Big
know.
yellowish stone.
You said yeah, it's the same stuff. I was like, well, it's yellow.
So yes,
Follow,
it
follow,
is
follow,
a
follow.
dusty yellow road. So
All right,
follow the
um,
dusty yellow
We
road.
link arms and skip.
Guys, we can.
You'll look back at Vulcan and be like, all right, Tin Man, let's go. Well, fuck, I'm the cowardly lion then? Bullshit. No. All right. Metaphor
I
is over.
suppose I'm the scarecrow.
Metaphor is done. Let's go.
Wait, but
Wait, does that make me Dorothy?
Now that we've all accepted this headcanon,
Athen and I can help make this easier and faster if we were to shape into giant eagles again. We could carry everyone up and down.
I guess if I'm riding one, I won't shoot it, right?
Well, you have to speak up, sweetheart. We don't think in terms of magic. At least I don't. It never occurred to me that was an option.
Really, after I turned into a mountain goat to help climb the mountain, nobody. Okay.
Even after Veil turned me into a giant eagle, I don't consider it as an option. I'm not a magic user.
I don't think that'd be very stealthy, though.
Vulcan
Well, it
kind of
is
shrugs his shoulders. I suppose, well, there's two of us. We could each probably carry two if one rides our backs and we carry the other in our talons.
Those.
That's six, though.
Hey, with these wraiths, can they fly, or are they like almost like they're people, but they're incorporeal?
Can I do an Arcana
Off
check
the
for that?
ground.
You can do an Arcana check, trying to determine whether or not you've seen them fly.
It's
Or
a 17.
heard of, or read something about them flying.
Yeah.
So you have done some studying about the necromantic ways once or twice in your life, Vale.
Yeah, I dabble.
You dabble a bit. Wraiths you are familiar with. They are a spectral type of being, a ghost. They don't have a corporeal form, more or less. They don't have feet. Their bodies kind of end in a mist. So you've never seen them walk. You've definitely seen them hover. Logically speaking, yeah, they probably fly.
All right.
But with your 17, another thought does occur to you. While yes, they do fly, they don't seem to move very fast.
Okay.
All right. I guess flying will work then. If you don't think they can catch us that way. I mean, it's much more dangerous to walk.
Well, the
Then
thing
I
is,
guess
we're going to have to leave someone behind and come back for a second trip.
He said something about someone could ride on a back and you could carry two.
Well, no. Each of you, Vulcan and Eloise, could carry two people.
Oh.
Theoretically, one on the back and one in their arms. So,
Unless, Vale, you want to polymorph someone, and then we could probably all get there in one trip.
How long would it take us to get up there?
judging based on, like, you're just using ranger sense right now, judging distances, doing the math in your head. It honestly wouldn't take you that long to fly directly up there.
Making kitty calibrations.
15 minutes at most. Get high enough and circle around. 15, maybe 20 minutes.
What I was thinking is someone could ride in the hole, but if it's going to be that long, they'll die.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to hop in.
Yeah.
Never again.
No.
Yeah. Well, I was going to suggest a
Oh, you all go ahead.
Uh,
You can leave me behind. I can fend for myself. If any of these spooky guys come back.
I'm not leaving you behind, buddy. I would walk with you that with a case.
How high is the mesa?
Let's just walk.
let me Google how high a mesa is. I have no idea.
Well, they could. I'm sure there's probably all kinds of heights.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. The Grand Mesa rises about 6,000 feet.
Yeah, that's no.
So I mean, they're fairly tall. It's not like tall, like mountain size, but it's in between. So, like I said, take you about 20 minutes or so to fly up there, give or take, circling around, flying over top, landing somewhere. You are now standing all in the middle of the road thinking about
Yeah,
this.
let's just
So
keep
everyone
moving.
go ahead and roll me a stealth check, please.
Flying isn't going to work because we're not going to do enough. So,
34.
33. Oh, hey, see, look at that with that advantage. See,
That's weird. Jortha and Vulcan both rolled 21s.
That's 17.
Blackjack.
24.
Yeah, you're all still being fairly stealthy. Luckily, the pass without a trace dampens a lot of your, at least footfalls, but you're all still talking. Luckily, you don't see any wraiths or anything of that nature. However, without making your roll, Jareth, you can see now far to the east, probably around right at the edge of your dark vision. There is a few poltergeists moving about. One on the roof of a building, another coming out of another building.
All right, I inform the group.
So we're doing it on foot then.
Really? Okay.
Are we flying or are we on
Well,
foot? I thought.
if we fly, we cannot take everybody.
If three of us become birds, we could.
Well, who's going to be the third, and how are you going to do it? Is he going to do magic? Is he going to waste a spell? I mean, make the decision now. Got to go.
All right, so I'm assuming Vale leans over to Blood, say, assuming you'd like to play the role of bird.
I will be the fucking bird, whatever we need to do. But we got to do this and do it now.
And he does it right as he says that, and you are now a giant eagle.
Ooh, please describe what Blood's giant eagle looks like.
He is sleek as fuck. He is black feathered.
Bird.
He's gorgeous, all right?
Black feathered, gold beaked, big eye.
Yeah, he's fucking gorgeous, is what he is. That's all you need to worry about.
Does he still have the scar on one eye?
Oh fuck yeah, dude, he's rocking that shit. That's what the ladybirds want.
Vale takes a running leap right onto the back of Blood.
Yeah, he'll catch him. He'll be like, yeah, he's gonna sit there and kind of dance up and down a little bit. He's like, and he's gonna, woohoo, and he's gonna fluff the wings a little. He's loving this shit.
I'm just I'm gonna form the T pose because everybody knows T pose.
And I'm gonna wild shape into a giant eagle and grab hold of Liam, I guess.
Just be happy he can't talk, because it'd be great.
Well, Vulcan. Let's see. Vulcan can grab Apollyon by the arms, and I guess since Jortha's pretty small, so he'll hold on to Jortha.
All right.
Like,
So,
anybody remember when Donkey became a beautiful horse?
So
Fucking
yeah,
Blood's gonna be doing something similar.
Jortha jumps up all monk-like and does a little flip before landing on Vulcan's back. She wraps a sash from around her waist around his neck, kind of as a leash, and then Vulcan flies up, grabs Apollyon by the shoulders, and just starts flapping. And it's funny because for a moment he's having a hard time lifting up, Apollyon's big, he's heavy, he's strong, but
Oh, yeah.
finally, Vulcan lifts him up. And the three eagles...
Let's go, Druid man.
Yeah, the three eagles go flying up into the air. And I think that's actually a great place to take a break. That way I can set up the next map.
Woo!
Okay, we will be back in about 10 minutes, everybody. Stay tuned.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. When we last left off, the Faab Five had turned a few of their party into eagles. Blood from a Stone, Eloise, and Vulcan, taking the form of giant eagles and picking up the rest of their companions, began to soar up into the air overhead, flying over Bradfordshire. Your group flew out 100, 200 feet, going up at an angle high over the city. As you do, I want everyone to make perception checks, please.
Am I making it as a giant eagle?
Yes,
I guess
because you got polymorphed, so you have the eagle's
What's
stat.
the plus on that?
On a giant eagle,
15 for me.
I think I have a giant eagle in here. Hang on.
10 for Veil.
A giant eagle perception is +4.
Alright,
Wow.
so don't they get
And you
advantage?
get advantage on things that
Well, I'll
have
roll
sight.
2 d20s and I'll add 40.
Uh,
So that's 15, so that'll be a 19 for my...
Jareth's in a cloud right now.
Jareth rolled with his advantage 2 1s, giving him a perception of 2.
Wow, that's just like ultimate unlucky.
And Vulcan and I use our own wisdom to do
Oh,
perception checks.
Which I'm not going to roll the NPC's perceptions right
Mine's a
now.
19,
19
then.
is 19 and 18 are high enough. So as the group flies out, Jareth sees a bat fly past. His entire attention is focused on this bat that goes flying down, and he actually turns a little bit, is watching as this thing goes by, completely misses everything that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Blood and Apollyon, as you're flying overhead, you're looking down, and your group just looks down, and you can see a huge mass of wraiths and poltergeists and specters flying around a building in the middle of the city. On the top of it, you can see 3 individuals standing upon the roof, one of which seems to be firing something from his hands down onto the streets below. You're counting around, and there's a dozen or more of each, which I'm going to move you all so you can actually see. Just imagine you're flying overhead, above the roofs of all these buildings, and you can see, surrounded one of these buildings, wraiths, and 3 individuals. It's kind of hard to make out who they are from this distance, but you can see them.
Would I be able to see who they are?
Let's see. With your 10 perception, you can't make it out either.
I guess
Okay.
with the 19, I could see them. I mean, I could tell who they are now that I'm looking at the tokens, but
Yeah.
Ken, Blood with that 19 is... Well, I mean, fuck, he's a bird. Who's he going to tell?
He has the ability to change direction and fly,
Well,
and
yeah,
everyone
I'm
would
just
see
saying.
that.
Who's he going to tell? It's like, oh, hey, look, there's shadows. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'd say that, you probably could with your 19. You're an eagle. You can tell there is a tabaxi, there is a dragonborn, there is a dwarf on the roof.
Oh shit. Okay, wait, here's a question. So as a druid, I use my own wisdom stat
Yeah.
for the perception roll. But do I still get the giant eagle's advantage
Probably.
on the perception check? Okay,
Probably.
it's fine. Next
Yeah,
time.
it's fine. I mean, we'll say for the sake of brevity that you can see the fact that it's the three of them too. They're on the roof. The tabaxi is definitely firing a hand crossbow down at these wraiths. The dwarf is throwing little bursts of fire as much as he can, and the dragonborn, now that you're looking at her properly, seems to be moving all around the roof. Anytime one of the wraiths begin to fly upward, her quarterstaff is there, smacking the thing upside the head.
I'm
Can I launch an
gonna
attack
swoop
through the
down.
air?
Yeah, I'm gonna swoop down and get me and Liam closer.
So you're heading down to save them?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I'm all for it.
Then let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Click your character tokens.
Oh yeah. Click,
I mean,
click, and character token.
am I using my initiative?
Oh my god. 3.
That's 3.
4.
23.16.
Holly
out of
with the
your
nat
stuff.
20.
Finally. I haven't rolled
That
an
is
initiative.
on.
There's his
Initiative than on an attack.
hold on. Giant Eagle's got a +3 to its dex. I will just
Oh yeah. So then I would have rolled
8.
an 8 instead of a 4. Because I keep my wisdom and intelligence, but the physical stats are of the giant eagle.
My Giant Eagle only gets an 8.
Same.
Let's see. Would they be considered magical damage?
Would what be considered magical? Talons?
Talons, since I am turned from a magic was used to create me. Huh?
That's not how it works.
No.
Hey,
No, you're just an eagle
let me
now.
fucking politic, okay?
The answer is just no. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't click my token because I was having to roll a modified thing, so
Natural 1.
it's an 8.
You rolled an 8?
Yeah, because it was a 5 plus a 3 dex for the bird. Since I was just doing a man, since I don't have an actual sheet, I'm just gonna do this roll through d20s plus
Yeah, that's fine.
my stats.
You know what? Hold on a second. We're going to leave your tokens as they are because easier that way.
Yeah.
However, you should now be able to access the giant eagle sheet in the player character file.
Under wild shapes. Okay.
Find it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Gotta get
Well,
into more situations where I get to transform into other creatures. My list is very short.
So I'm going to be kind of moving people around a little bit just to get a good visual of who's got what. Blood, you're holding on to Veil, so I'm going to put the
No, I'm
two
on
of
his
you right-
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you're on his back. That's right. Liam was being held by Eloise.
Yeah.
Jortha was on Vulcan's back, and he was holding Apollyon. Niasi, we're going to say, is right over here. The dwarf is here. The tabaxi is right there.
Down so much.
Actually, he would be farther like that, because he's shooting down at him. Okay, so this is weird because we're looking at a two-dimensional map, but we're thinking in 3 dimensions, okay?
Yep.
So in this round, which we are calling a surprise round for at least your group, because you've seen everyone else go, so this is your go. We're going to go through you, and then we're going to stop at the top of the turn order. All of you right now are streaking down, flying on top of your eagles, those of you who are on the eagles. As you're swooping down, you have about, let's see, what is the giant eagle's?
80 feet.
80 feet. So right now, you are exactly 80 feet above the roof of this building. Okay? But on their turn, they're going to be able to swoop down and get to that roof. Sound like a plan? That makes sense? You can do that or whatever, but you're exactly 80 feet from the roof, all of you flying. So, with that in mind, we're going to...
I'm going to yell to Vulcan and say, "Get ready to drop me down. I'm prepared for battle."
Please. Ugh, I'm a bird and I can't say anything.
Go ahead and give me a con saving throw. You're trying to yell at the top of your lungs so Vulcan can hear you saying, "Get ready to drop me."
That's with a +9, bro.
A 12.
A little windy out today.
Yeah, that wind is coming by fast. It's streaking past your ears, even as you yell, Apollyon, "Get ready to drop me." Your voice is kind of muffled in your own ears. You hope he heard you, but you're not entirely sure.
All right. Well, for while we're still in the air, I'm gonna launch out 2 Eldritch Blasts.
I like it. What is the range on Eldritch Blast? I think it's pretty high, like
120.
120. So you could easily hit any of the wraiths or the specters or anything else that's out there on the ground. You have plenty of distance.
I'm gonna aim at this one right here.
Okay, that one right here. I like it. So, hanging in the air from your arms, Apollyon opens his mouth and releases this gigantic blast of energy right from his snout. It goes shooting overhead down towards one of those wraiths that seem to be surrounding this building here. The blast strikes the ground at this wraith's foot. A huge explosion of dirt and dust comes up in the air as the strike hits the ground, missing the wraith completely.
And the second bolt comes out of my mouth for an 18.
Yeah, an 18 does hit. You strike out, slamming that Eldritch Blast into that wraith right there. 5 damage, not too bad. Okay, the thing looks up at you as you're flying down, and after you hit the thing, the wraith looks up at you with its sword in its hands, just points, snarling, making this odd kind of unhollow sound. That's it for Apollyon's turn.
Yeah, you like that, Ghost Boy?
Making that sound made me cough. Okay, Liam, you're up next. What are you doing?
All right. I'd like to try and slip from her grip and fall down 80 feet. And my hopes is that I could move up to a sidelong Niase over here with my movement if I'm able to reduce the damage enough and control it.
Okay, so first off, give me a dex, or actually it would be an acrobatics check to try to wiggle your way out of Eloise's grasp. Or Eloise, you feel him kind of wiggling a bit. Are you going to try to keep hold of him, or are you just going to drop him?
That's a 17.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not holding on that tight. I'm too afraid to tear into him with the talons.
Fair enough. So yeah, with a 17, easily you slip free from her and drop straight down at a bit of an angle because the bird was already going at an angle. Excuse me. Make a dexterity saving throw for me real quick.
Actually, with slow fall, do I need to?
No.
Oh, actually, with slow fall, no, you don't.
So roll 8d6, and if it's over 40, then I will take some damage.
Well, it's 30. So, yeah, you can absolutely land in a crouch and kind of do one of those ninja tumbles along the roof of this building and come up right there next to Nyasi.
Alright, I would like to hold my attack if anything comes within range, and bonus action, patient defense.
There is a specter right there, hovering right next to...
Okay, so I was thinking you were saying 3-dimensional, so I wasn't sure if he was high enough to attack yet.
I was getting ready to tell you, sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, the poltergeist that is right here has been hovering. That's the one that I said Nyasi had hit as its head poked up. So it is right there. You could hit it.
Oh, then I don't need to hold my action. I will take 2 quick glaive strikes. Natural 1, of course, just rolling those out the fucking woodwork. And a 25.
And with okay, yeah, a 25 is definitely going to hit. The 10 does not.
Dealing 14 slashing and 4 necrotic. I don't know how necrotic does on these things yet.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because you don't remember this, but maybe some of the other party members do remember what happened when Veil tried to use Toll the Dead on these things.
I remember.
Yep.
You slash with this glaive, and as it comes into contact with this poltergeist, the blade seems to hum in your hands. This dark sheen glows along the edge of the glaive blade, slicing straight through this thing. The poltergeist at first, it feels as though it's resisting the energy coming from the glaive, but then you feel some of that resistance begin to be drawn in through the glaive. You feel it pulsing through your fingertips as you hold this weapon, and it goes direct back out again into the creature, slicing cleanly through, and it takes the total 18 damage.
Ooh, fun. Yeah, bonus action, patient defense, I'm right there.
Okay, as you take patient defense, make an insight check, please.
Insight. 19.
You get the idea that these spectral creatures are definitely resistant to any form of negative energy. This glaive, which seems to pulse with negative energy in your hands right now, cut through it cleanly. Somehow, it cuts through the resistance.
Interesting. Alright, I think that's all I can do with my turn right there.
That's all I can do with your turn. Next up, we come to Vulcan. Vulcan is flying downward, heading towards that roof. He heard a little bit of what you were saying, Apollyon. He heard, let me go. So as he's flying, he gets about 30 feet away and just releases, arcing in an arc. You fall 20 feet down, landing on the roof, making acrobatics. I'm sorry, not an acrobatics check. A dex saving throw for me, please.
Oh shit! I'm gonna use a lucky point to reroll that.
Okay.
See, ones are abound tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, turned it around.
Okay. You fall, landing hard, in kind of a crouch. Your knees ache as you land with this thunderous shaking to this building. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall, but you manage to keep your feet and push upward, giving that Y pose once again. You made it. You landed perfectly fine, Apollyon.
Oh yeah, who's ready to get some?
So were you holding your action? Oh, wait a minute. No, you cast Eldritch Blast. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't have a held action.
Yeah, never mind. Vulcan then kind of curves around and hovers right there along the roof, waiting for Jortha to get off. So he is just going to use his action to wait right there. Okay.
Can he take his action to dodge, maybe?
Yeah, you can do that. That's a good idea.
Cool.
It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to get right there. Okay. Apollyon. The creature that you shot with your Eldritch Blast, the Wraith, begins to rise upward. You see him hovering, flying higher and higher. He goes 10 feet flying upward, another 15 feet just up.
Can I interject real quick?
Yes.
I thought we were going to do a surprise.
Oh, wait a minute.
round.
You're right. Yes, I do apologize. You did. Thank you.
Yep.
I do apologize for that. I've completely forgot after I said that. My bad. But anyway, ignore that. The Wraith is right where it was. Jareth's turn.
Jareth is going to streak by Apollyon and kind of grab his horn with his talons and try to pull him in the direction of Vulcan, and then he lets go and continues to fly.
Okay. Interesting. Jareth flies down, starts pulling Apollyon back towards Vulcan. Next up, we have Jortha. Jortha is going to jump off Vulcan, landing on the roof. It was flying right there next to it, so she doesn't have to make any dexterity saving throws. She runs over next to Shadows, and she says, "It is good to see you alive still." Let's see.
I can take it or leave it.
Dang, so mean.
Well, she's not racist like you are, Blood. So.
He's another tabaxi.
Like I said, she's not racist like you are.
He's also a fellow. He's a threat. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so she is going to go ahead and pull out just a short kunai, a dart. She looks down towards the road where all of these poltergeists and wraiths are, and she is going to be throwing 2 of them at these creatures. That's a 9, which is a miss, and a 15, which is a hit. She's going to go ahead and use her bonus action to pump a key point into that and make that a Kensi shot. Oh, sorry. That was not what I meant to do. Wow, what is with the ones today? Oh well. 7 points of piercing damage on the poltergeist down there. Let's see. Yep, that's fine. She kind of scowls a little bit after making those throws. Okay, blood from a stone. You are an eagle. You have Veil on your back right now, and you're about 80 feet from that roof. What are you doing?
He's gonna kind of like cock his head to the side as best he can and just like fucking screech to get his attention. And he's gonna like, with his wings, like point like they're going in, and he's just gonna kind of start swooping down. But I want him. He's going to end up coming up like over here, and he's going to kind of just do his best to give Veil a profile shot to like start fireballing everything.
Okay, so about how high are you hovering above the road?
We'll be probably, I'd say, 30 feet up. Where he's going to like kind of like hover for a little bit, or like starts flying at 30 feet, just to give him to see how many he can get.
Okay. So 30 feet above the road, or 30 feet above the roof? That's my only question.
We'll be above this one. We'll be 30 feet above this building.
Okay, so 30 feet above that building. Got it.
Yeah, and give him so he can kind of, hopefully if he can, whatever he's gonna do, he's hoping he's gonna shoot a fireball in that direction.
Got it.
He's bringing him in, and I figure we're just gonna be aerial fucking attacks. He's gonna fly around while Veil just fucking does his thing.
So, with Veil riding the majestic steed that is blood from a stone, he goes flying down 30 feet overhead of one of the roofs. Not the roof that the poltergeists are all surrounding, but the other roof. And he's hovering there, just waiting for Veil to do his thing. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it for Blood's turn. Next we have Eloise. Eloise, you don't have anyone in your talons anymore.
Nope.
What you doing?
So I am gonna swoop down. And just a second, you move my map on me. I hate that Roll20 does that. Every time you click something, Matt, my map moves.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's just okay. It's just Roll20.
If you voice your grievances, maybe they hear it and they fix it.
maybe. I'm going to swoop down towards.
Oh, and I guess he'll have the dodge action because he has to be up close to actually attack you.
I'm gonna swoop down towards that one. And I'm going to have my multi-attack on it. Swoop. So then I get to attempt to beak attack it. Does a 21 hit?
The 21 does hit.
Woo woo! 4 piercing damage.
4 piercing damage. You pierce down with your beak, and you do feel something tangible and solid as you pierce that spectral, misty form. Your beak does pierce it, but it doesn't go quite as deep as you're expecting it to.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take a swipe at it with my talons. 12.
12 unfortunately does not hit.
Well, shoot. And then I'm gonna go ahead and back up onto the roof.
Okay. So when you do that, you are getting an attack of opportunity from this guy. He does make a swipe at you.
Oh god, what is my eagle's?
Well, it's a 9, so I'm pretty sure it's
misses.
It's going to be higher than that. So you're
Yeah.
good to go. Okay, that's it for Eloise. Next up, Veil. You're on the back of Blood from a Stone, that black eagle. What are you doing?
Yeah, Blood. Vale's gonna say to Blood, I appreciate the shot you've lined me up for, but we're not fighting this battle. We need to get the hell out of here. And he pulls on his back feathers and directs him to go pick up 2 of the guys on the roof. And he yells over across the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, he yells over
across.
across.
Carry 2.
Yep, that's fine.
You and 1 other.
Yeah, you don't need to carry me. I'm good. He is going to hold his action until he gets on the roof over here next turn, and he's yelling across the way to Apollyon and Vulcan and Liam to tell the people we came down here to rescue to jump on an eagle, and we're out of here. There's no way Vale's comfortable blowing spell slots, fighting these things, and he does not. This isn't a good spot to be. We have the means to get out of here. There's no point in fighting, and that is my turn.
Interesting. Okay, let's see what happens. Apollyon, it is your turn. You are on top of the roof now, after just making a decent enough landing. So what are you doing?
Oh, just when I was getting excited about a brawl. And I'm going to walk down this way a little bit and fire 2 more Eldritch Blasts at that same wraith.
Okay, you would have to get to the edge of the building to see him, but you could absolutely do that.
Okay. Sure, I have enough movement.
Yeah.
What is the roof, like 10 or 15, 20
feet.
feet off the ground?
Yeah, it's about 12 feet off the ground, give or take. They're not tall buildings. Yeah, a 22 and a 23 both hit. So 16 points of damage. 2 Eldritch Blasts come shooting out of Apollyon's mouth. 1, 2, striking this wraith down on the ground in rapid succession. The thing is pushed a little bit backwards from the force, and it's just looking up at you, staring at you, Apollyon. What else
Bring
do you
it.
want to do?
That's it. I mean, I can't fire anything, so I'm waiting for somebody, I guess.
You still have
You
some
move
movement. Yeah, you still have some movement left.
Where did I go? 5, 10, 15, 20. Alright, I'll come over here and try to stay near Estru to protect him.
Okay. Actually, I never put Estru, did I?
Who's the old
I don't
man?
think so.
Oh, I didn't put any of them in there, actually.
Oh, also, Matt,
Yeah?
I figured it had so many tokens, I wasn't going to bring it up.
No, it's actually relevant now. What were you saying, Eloise?
Oh, nothing. That my initiative, because of the eagle stats, is actually 8 instead of 4.
Got it.
For surprise round, it doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah,
No.
but I am fixing it now.
Beans, thank you.
Okay, well, that's it. Apollyon, that was your turn. Liam, there is still that poltergeist that's hovering there, just at its head, just above the edge of the roof. You're right next to Nyasi, who's looking kind of startled and surprised that your group just showed up out of nowhere.
Sure, I would be too if I were her. Yeah, sure. Regardless, I'm gonna try and get control of this damn glaive and land 2 hits. Nope, not gonna land either one of them.
Yeah, you slash out twice with the glaive, trying to make those hits. The poltergeist just seems to fly there, not really moving, but you're unable to hit it. It's longer than you're used to. It's a little more unwieldy, and you're still just not 100% used to using the balance of the thing.
Yeah, based on those rolls, I'm just going to take patient defense and stand right there. That was pathetic. Sorry.
Okay. It is Vulcan's turn. I'm gonna make him roll a perception check just because I'm curious. Yeah, I'd say with a 12, he did hear Veil a little bit. He's going to go ahead and just hold his action. He's going to remain where he is. Because there's no real point to attack right now. I'll maybe move down a little bit. He's just flying overhead. He looks up at Blood and just squawks a little bit. That's what he's going to do for his turn. Next up, we have a lot of poltergeists. And I only rolled for one thing, but there is more of them than just one. So, a lot of them, you see, begin flying upward. They make it about 10 feet or so. Some of them begin to fly towards. Now, Liam, one is flying towards you right now. Not the one that was directly in front of you. One from the side. So you do have an attack of opportunity with you have your reaction thing.
Yeah, opportunity attack.
Yeah.
23.
23 does hit.
Alright, that is 16 points of damage. And just for fun, let's try and pump a key point into this.
What are you doing pumping a key point?
Con save, stunning strike.
Stunning strike, gotcha. Well, that's a 4, so...
Alright,
yeah.
so it actually stops 5 feet further back because the glaive has 10-foot reach.
I like it. So it's actually going to stop right there at the edge of the roof. The one that was flying next to you, he's going to go ahead and use his action now. Let's see here. What's he going to do? Okay. Yeah, I like this. I need you to, Liam, to make a charisma check against the target's... Let's see, I'm sorry, no. I need you to make a strength check against his charisma check.
A strength check, okay.
Oof.
Ugh.
That's a 19.
I was so close to a natural 18.
Yeah.
He wins. Alright.
Yeah. So what happens is you are shoved full force 30 feet backwards. Let's see here. Flying right about there. As you go flying, your back slams against the edge of the lip of this, of what's this called? Of the roof right there. Thank you. You take... a total of 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Wow. As you slam your back against the lip of this roof.
Taken.
Let's see here. Next poltergeist.
Fucking A, when patient defense doesn't do a goddamn thing for you, huh?
Yeah, sorry.
Did that knock me prone?
Yes, you are prone right now. Sorry. Okay. Just had to figure out the last of them. Two more poltergeists come flying up into the air. You can now see two of them making their way over the lip of this roof. The one directly in front of what's his name? Of Shadows and Jortha. Shadows is going to have to make the same thing. Strength check versus charisma check. So here is the charisma check from the poltergeist. That's a 17. The poltergeists are rolling great. His strength check is a 7. Yeah. He too goes flying. 30 feet backwards. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Slamming into the priest. Because I imagine the owl is flying above where this is. So
Yes.
he goes flying backwards, slams into the priest. Well, of course you're going to say that, Veil. Slams into the priest.
And Apollyon catches him.
Both of them take 9 points of damage as the two of them just slam one into the other, and you hear this as the two take the hit. Ouch. Okay. Yeah, the last poltergeist that went flying up to the roof. It's using the telekinetic thrust as well, but Jortha doesn't get thrown backwards. Jortha just gets pushed upward. So, charisma check from the poltergeist. Strength check from Jortha. Wow. Jortha manages to keep her footing. She gets hit by the telekinetic blast, stumbles a little bit, but manages to stand upright.
Way to beat yourself, Matt.
Yeah, I know, right? That's Sword Wraith Commander's turn. Its movement speed's only 30 feet. It has to go 12 to get up there to the edge. So they'll call that 15. Yeah, it's able to fly up and over, and actually, Apollyon's really the bigger threat, not the eagle. So he's coming swinging at Apollyon.
All right.
It pulls out this longsword. Yes.
I was gonna say at this point I have my trident in my right hand and my shield on my left, and I bang the trident a couple times on the shield and give him like, come on!
And as you slam the trident against the shield, you begin to see these sparks start to fly along the tines of the trident. Electricity seems to just sparkle between the tines and wrap itself around the entirety of the fork.
Oh yeah!
The Sword Wraith has its long sword high overhead and makes 2 swings at you. That's an 18 and a 19.
Nope.
Yep.
I quickly parry with the shield and do like a little somersault and raise my shield and parry the second one.
I like it. And the Wraith just roars, angry, furious that it was not able to hit you. Let's see. Next we got the warriors. More of these wraiths are beginning to fly upwards now. You can move 5, 10, 15 feet. How high, Eloise, were you when you when you finished your flight?
Well, you had said we were up in the air, right? So
You flew down.
yeah.
You flew down. You attacked, and you flew back up. So you're actually probably right there at the edge of the roof. You wouldn't be able to make it very high with all that movement. So
Yeah,
you are
maximum
within the
10
range.
feet up off the roof.
Yeah, so it's definitely high enough that the warrior is able to swing. It makes a long sword slash at you.
Yep.
Yeah, 22 is definitely going to hit.
Uh-huh.
And that's 9 points of damage to you.
How much does a giant eagle have in hit points? Okay.
And then it's going to go ahead and use its Martial Fury ability, which as a bonus action, it can make a weapon attack again, but anyone swinging at it has advantage. So it's basically swinging recklessly.
Okay.
Well, not recklessly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's a 24.
Yeah.
So 14 more points of slashing damage to
So that brings me to 23.
Eagle Eloise. Okay.
Oof. All right.
More of them are beginning to fly upwards now. This one is just able to get high enough to attack Niasi. That's a 20, which does hit. So 12 points of slashing damage to her. This one probably make it to right about there, but can't quite make it all the way. These are flying upwards, but not quite able to get there. Because they're flying at angles. Okay. All of the wraiths are definitely getting up there in that flying up towards the roof at this point. Okay, Shadow's turn. Let's see what Shadows can do. Let's see. He's going to go ahead and take a shot at this wraith that's over here by Niasi. I think that's his smartest move. Oh, wait a minute. He's got advantage. That's better. Nat 20. Fuck. Okay, so let's see here. 32 plus 14, or 22 plus 14. 22 plus 14 is 36.
Plus 11.
6 plus 11. So, yeah.
47
points of damage. So, just twisting fast, he pulls his hand crossbow up, almost in this John Wick style move, fires. The arrow goes flying, this bolt of energy that seems to echo backwards, striking the wraith, and it just explodes with thunderous force and disappears completely. It's fading down to nothing but mist.
Sidewinder, did he curve the bullet? Fucking hey, dude.
Yeah, that thing's gone. Shadows turns to the rest of you and he says, "Your timing." Let's see. Sorry, wrong voice. Your timing could have been better, but like to see you all the same. Need to get out of here, though. What, you don't like my southern?
Fuck you. And, you know what? If Blood were there, he'd be like, force damage is better than thunder damage.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and he's just going to turn and say, yeah, one shot now. One shot. Jareth. It is currently Jareth the Owl's turn as we talk shit to each other. What's Jareth doing?
Jarrett's going to fly over to what's her name right here? Nyasi? Is that her name?
That's Jortha.
Yeah, Jorth is right.
Jortha. All right. Same thing he did with Apollyon. Kind of grab her by the shirt or something and pull her towards Vulcan.
Okay.
Just hinting to get the hell out of here, and then he's going to fly up.
Okay, I'm going to let Jortha make an insight check to see if she can figure out what it is Jareth is telling her. Oh yeah, 25, no problem. She getting pulled backwards, her hair in this owl's beak. She looks back and just like, yes, I know. And it is her turn. So, first things first. Let's see here. Yeah, she's going to go ahead and take 2 swings with her scimitar at the poltergeist that's right next to her. Fuck. 8 but a 20 hits. Gonna pump another key point into this to make it a death strike. Eight points of damage. Yeah, flurry of blows. She knows she needs to get out of here. 219's definitely going to hit. Ignore the death strikes. 10 more points of damage. That's enough to take out that poltergeist right there. Good thing, too. She's going to use her movement to get over here. 5, 10, 15 feet, and use the rest of it to mount onto Vulcan's back once again. She's yelling to everyone, "We must flee now! Listen to the drow for once!"
We're surrounded.
Dude,
Everybody's back together.
Vulcan's had a held action, correct, or did you use it?
He had the held action. He was waiting for Jortha or somebody to get on his back. He's looking between the group, looking to Apollyon, looking to the tabaxi, looking to the old man. He's gonna kind of shake his head a little bit, and he's gonna pick up the old man. Okay, and then he's going to fly upwards. Let's see, he was holding all of his movement, so yeah, he can fly up 80 feet upward. And he's going to come flying there. That's his weight limit right there. It's the priest's turn. He's currently being held and seems startled as fuck. What's he gonna do? Well, he doesn't have nearly the compunctions that Veil has. And you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna throw a fireball. Because this is his last spell. Or at least last that level spell. Let's see. I'm trying to do the math on here, so just bear with
Yeah,
me.
that'll get them all. I did the math earlier. That'll get all of those guys there, except for like obviously not the dead one right here, but
Yeah. Yep, I think we're good. And the math that I was trying to do is how high were they based on their last turn, but I think they were high enough, so it should actually hit them all.
yeah, I mean you've got a 150-foot range anyway.
Yeah, but remember, some of them were lower, some of them were higher in the air.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
think it's. So is it like a sphere?
Yeah, it's literally a sphere.
Okay.
So that's why I was thinking to myself, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it definitely can hit. So
Yeah.
here we go. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. So, first spectator saved. So that's 13 points of damage on that guy. Second one failed. That is 26 points of damage. The explosion just whoosh, brightens everything in range. One of the spectators is instantly vaporized so far. Spectre, or the poltergeist, did save with a 16, so that's 13 points of damage. Sword Wraith Captain definitely failed. So 26 points of damage.
What's your spell save DC right now, Vale?
Mine?
Yeah, just curious.
17.
See, if it were you casting it, all but one would have
one
taken
save.
full damage. This is
Yep.
your fault.
Yeah. You got to remember, Apollyon was over there when I was going to cast it, though, wasn't he?
No,
Pretty
Apollyon's
sure.
never been at that corner of the building.
In the middle of the roof.
Yeah.
I thought he landed there.
Yeah, I feel like it would have hit him too, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like he was like right over here at the edge of it.
I feel like
That's where he
Apollyon would have
landed.
been down for that. Be a cool battle scar.
He's into that kind of stuff.
But
I feel like I was at this square right here, but it's okay.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, being lifted up by Vulcan, this little old dwarf launches a fireball outward towards the edge of this roof. It explodes in brilliant yellows and oranges, annihilating one of the creatures and hitting the rest of them with a good amount of damage. Unfortunately, quite a few of them are still alive, but hey, good effort. So that's it for his turn. Next up, Eloise, you are still in your eagle form. You're right there flying. There is one of the sword wraiths next to you. What are you doing?
I am gonna 20 and then yeah. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna kind of swoop, try to grab Liam, and then go over towards Nyasi.
taking at least one opportunity attack.
Yeah, you are. Let's see here. Well, that's a 9, so you're good.
Nope.
You spin, winging your way in the opposite direction, and as you do, this sword wraith just swings out with his long sword, missing you completely. Like you feel the ruffle of your tail feathers as the swing goes by, but you're good.
Cool. So I'm gonna grab Liam, and then I'm gonna bring us over towards Niasi, and we're both gonna be over here.
Okay. That's it for Eloise's turn.
Probably about, I don't know, like 10, 15 feet above Niasi's head.
Okay. So you use your movement to do that. Are you holding your action for anything?
Oh, well.
I think picking me
no,
up
I think
was an
picking
action, right?
Liam.
Yeah,
Would it not
Actually,
be a-
yeah, I'd say you're
Okay.
right. You're right. Picking Liam up would have been the action. You're right.
Okay.
Since you actually picked him up, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You're fine. Blood from a stone. Your turn. You're an eagle. Veil is on your back.
And he understands common, so he heard everything Veil shouted. And he also, I guess, did you say, don't worry about me, pick up 2 people?
Yeah, so, and then I
Okay.
also held my action, which is going to be to jump off you. Or did I need to state that's what my action was going to be, Matt?
I usually prefer you to state what your held action is.
That's fine,
but,
then I'll just...
but
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm fine with you jumping off with it.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Okay.
he'll end up like, he's gonna circle around, and he's gonna kind of come in, and I guess she's got Liam and Niasi, Vulcan's got these 2, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna swoop in, he's gonna kind of come in a circle and come down, and he's gonna come up and he's gonna land right here, and he's gonna grab Shadows and Apollyon.
Okay, so you fly down here to this roof. When you do, Veil used his action to jump off and land on the roof. You don't need to make any rolls. You're good. You're picking up Apollyon. You're holding your action so that. Say again what you're doing.
Well, since Veil told him, "Don't worry about me. Get 2 people." He's gonna.
Okay.
I guess he's gonna either grab Apollyon and Shadows, or he's gonna grab one of them and direct the other one up top. Whatever they want to do.
Yeah, if you're picking up Apollyon, you would have to hold the rest for.
As I say, he could probably grab Apollyon one arm in each talon.
Yes.
And then, maybe take his head and bump up under Shadow's shoulders and be like, "Hey, up top."
Yeah, and you
kind of what he's implying.
I get you, and you're squawking at Shadows, tossing your head over. I get you now.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good to go. Niasi's turn. She still has that poltergeist right in front of her, but you know what? Let's see. Yeah, why not? She'll go ahead and make 2 attacks with her spear. That's what she has, a spear. 13 does hit for 11 points of damage, which is enough to take out that poltergeist floating right there. So she stabs at him with the silvered spear, and not even looking, just grabs a hold of some feathers on the side of your neck, Eloise, and twists and pulls herself, wrapping a tail around you to get herself in place. She is now on your back.
Cool beans.
Okay. That's it for Niasi's turn. Now we have the spectators. All the spectators that haven't moved yet, they're starting to fly up. They have 50 feet of movement. They actually have some pretty good movement speed. They can move up here. She's flying right at. I guess technically she would be right next to both Eloise and Niasi. And Liam, because Liam's kind of being held below. Liam's more the clear target because your arms are out. You're being held by your arms from this thing that's hovering a little bit above the roof. So I think this attack is going to come at you, Liam.
Sounds good.
That is a nat 20.
Yeah, nat 20 hits.
You know, the funny thing is, sometimes the narrative just goes the exact way I want it to. So, as it comes flying up towards you over the roof, it reaches out with its hands and just reaches into your chest and grabs. You feel this cold hand clutching at your heart and begins to squeeze. I need you to make a con saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Con saving throw. 1 second. Hang on. It's freezing on me. I need to move the cursor up. Oh, something blinked.
Did it work?
Whoa. I lost everything. Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Hang on.
Would you like me to roll it for you?
Give me 1 second. I think I got it.
Okay. Con saving throw.
Got it.
Okay.
What did I roll? I can't see it.
You rolled a 6. So here's what happened.
Fuck.
As it's pulling its hand back outward from you, you feel tendrils of your soul, your very life essence, being pulled away out from you. However, the glaive in your hands shimmers a little bit, dark light beginning to shine brightly along the edge of the blade. And it releases this wave of energy that pushes the specter back. It succeeds in pulling some of the damage out of you. You only take 12 points of necrotic damage as it pulls out from you. You did fail the con saving throw, so your hit point maximum has now been reduced by 12 points.
Of course, yeah. That I love when you do that to me. Thank you, Matt.
However, as you feel some of your life essence ripping away from you, you also realize that the glaive seemed to protect you a little bit. You are currently resistant to necrotic damage.
What?
Nice.
God, fucking, I gotta. Oh, okay. I love you and hate you at the same time. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. And
Okay. More of these spectators are making their way up to the roof, but none of them have enough movement to really get beyond the top edge there. However, you all can see they are starting to edge their way along. I'm going to actually move. Just so it makes a bit more sense. Anyway. Okay. That's it for those guys' turn. Last is the Sword Wraith Captain. It flies up, managing to get on the roof itself. As it gets to the top of the roof, it can see your group all flying there. 3 eagles flying there right now. And as it looks out on you, it holds its sword upward and just gives this loud, resounding call. It's using its call of glory. When this happens, you see from the grounds around you 6 more poltergeists, pink forms beginning to rise up out from the ground on ground level. So there are 6 more of them on the ground right now.
Yippee.
Okay. Veil, you are currently on the roof after just jumping off of Blood from a Stone. What are you doing?
Is there a way I could do some inside check to know if these guys are ready to fly away and everyone's safe?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
You know, not that he really cares, just for peace of mind, I guess.
Of course.
It's a 10.
Eloise, are you ready to take off on your turn?
Yeah.
Blood from a Stone, are you ready to take off on your turn?
Oh yeah.
Vulcan seems to be looking anxious as well as he's holding the dwarf and flying with Jorth on his back. So that's what you can get with your 10.
Okay. He's going to just start. Vale's going to run 5, 10, 15, and jump up to Jareth.
Okay.
And while he's midair, he's going to do a little. Hold on one second. Trying to find it. Say something, and a dimension door will appear, and Jareth and him will pop into it. And is the mesa? How far away is the mesa from here?
From here?
Yeah.
The edge of it, the wall of it, is probably around maybe about 200 or so feet from your current location. The wall itself is.
All right, excellent. He is going to go about 500 feet at an angle to, I'm assuming, maybe the midpoint or the 1/3 mark up the mesa in that spiral road.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to allow it. You could probably get to an upper road platform for it with the 500 feet of movement that you have there with the dimension door. Absolutely, I like it.
All right, and go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna see if I have any. Prestidigitation is an action, I believe. So never mind.
So
on his next turn, he'll be indicating where he is.
Okay. So what you're able to appear on with the 500 feet of movement was this just edge of a little bit of a rock cliff, probably about 20 or so feet below the actual road platform. It wouldn't be very hard for you to actually, I'd say even less than that. It's short enough that you can look over it. You're not on the road itself. You're just below the road, looking upon it. So you're not quite on it itself. As you look, you're looking around with... Just go ahead and give me a perception check.
Can Jareth make one too?
Absolutely.
All right. So Vale's is a 6, which he's going to use a lucky point to re-roll. Natural 20 to make it a 23, and
Nice.
Jareth. No, Jareth can't get any higher, but he's got a 17.
Okay. With your keen elf eyes, you're absolutely able to see on the road itself. There's a few houses between you and the next cliff wall of the mesa. You can see between them there are 2 or 3 poltergeists heading in a... God, I'm really bad with geography. I'm thinking to myself, it winds around once, it winds around twice. You would see them heading east, going at the downward slope of the mesa road. Does that make sense?
Yep. So it's kind of a clockwise winding up.
Yeah, it's a clockwise winding up. The eastern side of where you're looking goes downward. The western side goes upward at the angle. You see two sword wraiths and a small group of poltergeists. You count 4 of them heading on the downward slope away from you.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for Veil's turn. And we're at the top of the order. Apollyon, I assume you're holding your action right now since you're being held? Or are you going to do something?
I'll just fire 2 more Eldritch Blasts, since I can do that hands-free.
Okay.
$19.
Who are you hitting? The sword wraith guy right here near you?
Yeah, the guy right directly in front of me.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely hits.
10 force damage,
10
maximum
more points
damage.
of force damage. Nice.
And a 13, I'm going to assume that probably doesn't hit.
13 does not hit.
Alright, yeah, that's it. I'm waiting for Vulcan.
Okay. Liam, it is your turn. You're currently being held by your arms by Eloise. There is a specter, a pink, half visible, half invisible woman thing right next to you that just tried to rip your heart out. What are you doing?
I suppose I could just dangle there like a piece of shit that had its soul sucked, but I'll go ahead and take a couple swipes at this thing. Did that roll it? My thing is not moving.
Yeah, you
rolled
got an
1.
18. So an 18 does hit. You want me to roll the damage for you?
Yeah, if you could. My screen's not moving.
Not a problem. 20 points of damage total. 11 slashing and 9 necrotic. That thing's looking massively hurt. The 17 also does hit.
I think I may have rolled an extra time. Yeah, if you could just roll the damage.
I can. Another 17 points of damage, which is enough to take out the creature that just tried to steal away a portion of your soul. You slash once and then stab with the glaive. The blade goes right through the thing's head and just crackles as it slices through, and the thing just dissolves into nothingness down into the roof. Okay. You doing anything else? Liam, you there? I think he might have froze. I doubt he's going to do anything else, so we'll just skip on. Vulcan, on his turn, is flying away. He's just going up his full movement, getting higher and higher. He's going to angle towards the north, heading towards the mesa, but he's only going to go like probably about 80 feet in that direction. That way he can still see everyone and he's waiting for everyone else to join him, essentially. Okay. Poltergeist turns are up next, and they're trying to make their way in. One is able to get up there next to Blood in his eagle form. It's going to do a forceful slam attack. That's a nat 20. So yeah, 17 points of damage. That is bludgeoning and force damage. So that was to you in eagle form, Blood from a Stone. The rest of the poltergeists are starting to fly upwards towards the roof. Those ones that just appeared. They're getting towards the edge there, but not quite close enough. The Sword Wraith Commander is up next. He is taking 2 swings at Apollyon, who's currently held there by blood. That's a 25 and a 16. So 5 points of slashing damage to you, Apollyon. Apollyon, you there?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I take the damage.
Cool. Just making sure you're there. We do have more of the warriors now. They're starting to make their way upward. Next one's going to come up towards Apollyon as well. That's a 21 to hit.
It's a miss.
Okay.
Apple's a hardy fella.
Yeah, he is. One is getting its in combat with Liam. That's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, 24 hits.
So 6 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, I'll just take it. That's fine.
Oh, sorry, that one is not one of them. The rest of them are able to make their way up onto the roof finally and get about there, but they're not close enough. Shadows in the Wind's turn. He saw the one coming up at you, but he saw the one over here at Apollyon. He's going to take a shot at the one over here by Apollyon, the Sword Wraith. It's a 19, which does hit. For 24 points of damage.
30.
30 points of damage, sorry.
32.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 32.
32.
Sorry.
God, we all suck at math today.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for his turn. Took quite a bit of damage. The one down here next to Apollyon looking really, really rough. It is Jareth's turn, but for the sake of brevity, because let's see, we have Eloise, we have Jortha's turn, we have Father Estru's turn, who can throw another spell. Then it's Eloise and Blood, who I assume the two of you are just going to take off and get in the air. So I'm going to allow them to make their the 3 things that are in contact with you. I'm going to allow them to make attacks of opportunity that they would get normally. I'm going to say that Father Estru, let's see, what spell does he have? Well, actually, he's pretty far away. He's on Vulcan anyway.
He's 80 feet away.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to cast any spells. He's too far away. So never mind that. We ignore that. So yeah, we're just going to say the attacks of opportunity. This first one here is on Liam. That's a 7, which is a miss. Next one is on Apollyon. That's a 19, which is a miss.
Nope, miss.
And the last one from the Sword Wraith Commander. That's a 26, Apollyon.
Yeah, that'll hit me.
So 14 points of slashing damage. But with that, all of you are able to get into the air once again, flying high overhead and angling towards the mesa. And I think that's a great place to end things for this evening. So the Faab Five managed to rescue Shadows, Father Estru, and Yasi, and survive a rather scary situation. Good job, everybody.
That was a lot of undead things.
Yes, that was.
Yeah, got swarmed.
Oh yeah, you could tell that them on the roof firing down at these things, this was their last stand. I figured there's basically there's a couple of outcomes. Either y'all would have walked up on it and seen it, because I did mention the big group in the distance, or you would have flown up to see it. So you had two situations there, which is really interesting. But good job.
Who you gonna call? The Faab Five.
Ain't that the truth? So on the wings of eagles, the Faab Five are flying up, heading towards the
Mesa.
the mesa top and the monastery of the Blue Heron. So thank you all for watching. We absolutely appreciate you tuning in. Come hang out next Monday at 7 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, next Monday is the one shot. So come hang out with us at 4 o'clock next Monday to watch Joe's holiday one shot, 5 Nights of Darkness. Should be a lot of fun. On behalf of the Faab Five, I just want to say once again thank you to everyone who watched. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Oh shit, guys!
Peace.
We're not gonna get to the conclusion of this until the new year.
That's true. That's true.
Until next year, or 6 seconds later in game time.
Yep,
Yeah.
indeed. Good night, everybody.
Later.